Kendrick Perkins on the Legends Talk podcast talking about Shedeur Sanders on the heels of his first win as NFL starter.
Shedeur Sanders is the most powerful black man since 2009. You know what happened in 2009?
Yeah.
That's when President Obama got elected in office. He's the most powerful black man since 2009. You said you were sitting there watching the game in your house, and what you did? You ran with the TV.
Yeah, right.
Right?
I did.
What was you doing, DB?
I was cheering. I was happy.
You was cheering like a. When Shedeur Sanders is on the field, and when I say powerful because there's two sides of it, right? Think about it. Okay, you got the black community. He bringing the whole black community together. I ain't ran across one black person that didn't said one bad thing about Shedeur.
We want him.
And guess what? Not
we
one.
Want him.
Because he has the balance. He has the balance of that. I'm arrogant, but I'm humble too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
He have fun with this.
And he having fun with. And on top of that, y'all want me to say it ain't. Y'all want me to feel it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's the most powerful black man in sports. No other. Matter of fact, black man. He the most powerful player in sports.
Terrible. What an awful take by Kendrick Perkins. An embarrassing take to equate a fifth-round quarterback with the first freaking black president of the United States in a country where black people came over here in chains as slaves. How dare you diminish Barack Obama and his legacy to some damn football player? Are you serious? Kelvin, I'm not even kidding. It is demeaning. Really? That's your hot take? That this dude matters more and is the most powerful man than the first black president of the United States? I don't think so. Any day of the week. You want to celebrate Shedeur, do it. You want to root for him, do it. There are plenty of black people, I hate to break it to you, who aren't Shedeur Sanders fans.
That's fair.
Because they have other quarterbacks that they're fans of.
Or just don't think he's great. Like he
or they don't like the way he comes off. Of all people to rally around, and I'm going to be serious about this. He ain't one of those great American stories where a guy came from nothing, had everything against him. His dad's a great former athlete. His dad is a Hall of Famer in football and played Major League Baseball. His dad coached him all the way up to major college football. His dad. Mm-hmm. He grew up rich. Really? That's the story that you're so enthralled with? I'm sorry. It's not an anti-Shedeur Sanders, but let's not make it bigger than it really is. That's my point. Mm-hmm. This is over the top. And I'm going to be real with you, Kelvin.
Yeah.
I truly believe the reason that people have gone on the deep end is they feel that the man, in quotes, the man did something to Shedeur because he was this confident black man. That is really what this is all about, because all your draft nicks and all these draft people told you he was going to be the first overall pick. You ain't want to hear the reporting that went into it that said that he came to these meetings unprepared, whatever, headphones on, not paying attention, whatever. You don't want to hear that. You didn't want to hear when people said, oh, well, there was a memo and the NFL called and told everybody don't draft him. We're going to show this young kid something and knock him down to size. But when they did reporting, it said that the Ravens called for him, the Eagles called for him, and he said no. He didn't want to go to those teams. So this whole notion is ridiculous. I'm dead serious. I laugh or I joke all the time. Mm-hmm. I literally threw up in my mouth to hear him say that he's the most powerful man more than Barack Obama.
Well, he said since. Yeah, since Barack
really?
Obama. But
really?
Okay, so let's start there. First, I think Perk was he's using the wrong word. If he wanted to say hot rod, controversial, maybe has the most support, which I still wouldn't agree with those, but that's a conversation. But to use the term most powerful black man in America, that's crazy. First of all, he's 1/100th the power of LeBron James.
It doesn't even make sense.
It's not even in the same stratosphere. He's 1/100th the power of Magic Johnson, Steph Curry.
Thank you.
If you
want to
go, Colin Kaepernick, because he said since 2009, Colin Kaepernick and the movement that he started.
Thank you, Kelvin. Keep going.
I can go down and down the list, and that's just the sports world. I mean, because you can keep going with some other people's. He's not even on the level of still Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, as far as power, sheer power.
Michael Jordan still sells sneakers like they're going out. He hasn't played in 20 years. I'm just saying his influence.
Yeah. And look at what Magic Johnson has done. So many things on and off the courts. Now on the field as a part owner of the Dodgers, part owner of the Commanders, the stuff he does in the community. You live here in LA. Like, settle down, Perk. If you're saying he's the taste of the moment, the controversy, like, meaning if I go, I'm Team Shedeur and Lightning Rod, and somebody, I'm not Team Shedeur, then yes. But the idea of the most powerful black man in America, that Perk, that's disrespectful also to the people who not even are doing things in just sports, that are doing things in the communities. You know, I could go on and on and on. So that was crazy. Of Perk's end on that end. Now, let's talk about a couple of things you just mentioned. I do want to break down. The part of this that when you said, and me and Rob G talked about this, people will say, well, why him? Why is he the one you rally around? He doesn't even have this story of like the rags to riches. I think that's a part of why some people will be slightly offended. They'll say, why does the black story have to be he was a single-parent household and I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
I didn't say that's the only story.
You, but I'm saying
I didn't say that.
I think, but I'm saying I think people enjoy that he's from his father is them, and enjoy that there's some nepotism. Like, yeah, why can't his dad look out for his son? We've seen that happen. Literal presidents of the United States, literally, H.W. Bush to W. Bush, and so I think
that's not the only thing. I'm gonna push back on you is on the player field, and you play.
No, but I'm saying
on the player field.
People,
that's really.
If it goes from the president of the United States, why can't it go on the practice and playing field?
Because everybody plays and they pick the best players. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? And this is the point that I'll tell you why. Uh-huh. All the white owners, if they really wanted to, could say, I'm just going to put my son and white. We're in Boston or we're in Dallas, and I'm just going to pick white players, and it's my team, and it doesn't matter who's better, okay? Because that's what sports has always been about. That it doesn't matter, like the best player is going to get a chance to play.
Absolutely.
And once you start playing with that, and I'm not saying that Shedeur didn't deserve to play at all, okay? But I'm saying that's what's different. It ain't just.
But Rob, so
there's a lot of players who I've talked to who had to play and do all they could to make a team. And to see somebody just handed situations, they'll never be with that.
I don't disagree that in a perfect world, nepotism doesn't exist, but that ain't the case. And so what I'm saying to you is, I think there's a contingency of people who see him, and so you say, why is he the rally around? Because they see him as he doesn't have to have the bad story they love to report during a draft. Oh, his dad was in prison. He comes from.
That's not the story I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay, that's not the story I'm talking about.
That's why. People would say, he has the support because people say he comes from a good home. He comes from a father in the home who loves him and champions him. But no, that's why a lot of people are supporting him because it's a different story than the one that often is projected during the draft and that.
But the reason that people don't, the other part is the arrogant. There's a part that makes him unlikable.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Makes him unlikable.
And a lot of people in real time didn't like Muhammad Ali in real time. It's lovable now. They didn't like him because he was spoken in his confidence. He said what he said and said all this. And he is nowhere near as articulate and charismatic as Muhammad Ali. But I'm saying.
He's Muhammad Ali now. Here we go.
No,
there's a lot of guys who have been like that.
But what I'm saying is some people don't like that. And it's similar to why people rallied around Allen Iverson. He wasn't perfect. He didn't say it all the time. But Allen Iverson authentically himself. I
don't think Allen Iverson was ever of that ilk. I was around Allen Iverson. I was covering the league. Yeah. I never felt that he was confident in himself, but I don't remember any.
I'm talking about bravado. He was himself. He had chains. He had braids. He does himself.
But I don't think people.
So I think there's a contingency of people who are offended that people are offended by that. Like, oh, look at him. He's too confident. He's too cocky. And people say, what's wrong with that? The young man believes in himself. He said he ain't going to fail. He shouldn't believe he's going to fail.
I don't think that.
And so
because
I think that's why you get that.
The pushback is the other way, where no matter what he does, you could be confident in all that, when the reports came out that he wasn't prepared or whatever, everyone totally, the people who are in this camp, they weren't in the meeting. Oh, yeah, they put out a bad story. Yeah,
well, I mean, his
his
father said that was those were blatant lies. But
you thought those are blatant lies that
No,
I'm asking you. No,
I'm answering your question. I do believe
you believe that everybody, different scouts and people for different organizations all came up with a story to make up for
I
the
believe Shedeur
did.
Sanders doesn't carry himself that the way in which they might look at franchise quarterbacks. Absolutely. Do I believe he might have came in with some headphones on and some ice on? Absolutely. Do I think that would absolutely rub some people the wrong way?
You think maybe he wasn't prepared?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just asking.
And another point.
What would be the reason for him to make it?
Can I get some points off here, Rob? And the other thing, too, is that I also think that we have to – this is one of those peculiar situations. Me and you have talked about it a million times. To undermine the shock of a quarterback, not a corner, not a linebacker, going from projected possible first round, maybe second, to fifth. We've never seen that. We talk about Aaron Rodgers to this day. They'll show it. He had to wait. And he goes from should be a top 10 pick to the 24th pick, whatever it was. And that was a big deal. So to have a guy that people have made careers off of 20 and 30 and 40
have people
years.
Been wrong?
Not that wrong, Rob. What a quarterback. That's the point. And so it makes people go, well, what's up with that? That don't seem right. And I don't see the signature game he ever won in college. I'm going to be honest. And I heard all the other stuff. He holds the ball too long. There's a lot of the issues that they talked about. Where's the signature win? The draft gurus, no one had him near there. They had him first and second, and like an hour or two before, maybe third. No quarterback with a name like that has dropped to the fifth, so it makes people become skeptical. And if we want to have this real honest conversation, black people in America have often went through enough to make people go, well, what's the real reason behind that?
So wait a minute, so you're telling me in a league, right, where you're trying to win, that he's a talent, because if they wanted to not have him in the league, they don't have to draft him at all. Would you agree with that? If there was some,
in this case, I'll give you that.
Why would they even draft him? And if the Cleveland Browns don't want him to succeed, they don't have to play him. They didn't have to play him at all. They could have skipped over him.
Now, let me
could have. It doesn't even make sense to me.
But I said, because we're going this way and we're supposed to be, if we're going to have a real and honest conversation, there's absolutely reasons why black folks are skeptical when things like that happen. Would you give me that? Whether it's literally what happened or not, that they have not had enough to happen that they go, well, that's weird that the one time this kid's coming out, and he supposed to be a first-round pick. Maybe second round. And he drops to the fifth. It never happens, Rob, for a quarterback. Not a running back with drug issues that comes out, or not a quarter. We found out this kid was arrested a week before the draft. A quarterback. That does not happen.
But here's my other issue, and here's my biggest pushback to you. His mentor is a guy that people think is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is to you.
Okay.
So Tom Brady's a part of it too, despite being his mentor. Yeah. Okay, that's what you're saying. Tom Brady's a part of it too, despite being his mentor, despite being friends with his father, knowing his background, knowing where he came from, looking at his talent. Tom Brady, whose team is garbage with a bad quarterback, refused to draft him because of some memo from the NFL.
No, I didn't say that for Tom Brady.
No, I'm asking you.
I just answered it. No.
So why didn't he draft him?
Because Tom Brady's made horrible decisions.
So
we just talked about it in our lead of last hour.
But
Tom Brady brought in Pete Carroll.
A guy his mentee?
I'll tell you why. Because Tom Brady is trying to win now. So he brought in a quarterback who has a history of winning. I mean, a coach in Pete Carroll. Tom Brady.
What quarterback? The quarterback doesn't have a history of winning.
Geno Smith had a history of winning with Pete Carroll. Yes, he did. And that's why he brought those two in. Because Tom Brady was trying to circumvent the rebuild and win now.
So couldn't be another quarterback? He couldn't be the backup?
No, he didn't want to bring in a young dude who was probably going to need some time to develop.
That makes no sense. All right, 877.